Greetings in the spirit of peace. Greetings in the spirit of change. Greetings in the spirit of resilience. You look so good to me right now. I want to thank you all for showing up. I want to thank you all for being the groundedness that farmers need to show that we are absolutely appreciated. So my name is Sophia Bugs. I am the owner and operator of Ladybug's Farm, located on the south side of Youngstown, Ohio, where I am also a wildcrafter, medicine woman, and the director of the Mahoney Food Initiative. And moving forward, I must call on those shoulders I am standing on, especially the ancestors who've been fighting right along with us during these interesting times. I like to call on a few ancestors that encourage such change. Fannie Lou Hamer, who stated, "If you give a hungry man food, he will eat it. But if you give him land, he will grow his own food." George Washington Carver stated, "Reading about nature is fine, but if a person walks in the woods and listens carefully, he can learn more than what is in the books, for they speak with the voice of God." These are our ancestors. These are our collective American ancestors, not just Black and Indigenous people. We all share both of those ancestors. I'd also like to send out some healing and love energy to the people, the land, farmers, air, and waterways of East Palestine, Ohio. They are experiencing a chemical tragedy that is going to take more than a few months to recover. Climate action means regenerating the soil, the people, and our communities, for we are a living culture that requires diversity, just like the living mycelium. Ohio's #1 production is agriculture, so we are in full knowing what it's like to farm under crazy weather patterns. Ohio urban farmers and market growers are often challenged with keeping their produce at an affordable cost due to too much rain in the spring and drought in the summer. And if no one has noticed, farmers are usually wearing more hats to feed their families. We are market managers, food access coordinators, chefs, wellness coaches, and herbalists. This means that there needs to be more resources to support farmers with funding for fresh food educational and community gardening programs. The work that I do besides foraging and processing native plants for medicine is definitely a way to uplift communities, but I'm also uplifting convenience stores by providing technical support, fresh produce and small refrigeration to stores that are dedicated to selling fresh produce and healthy foods to their customers. These stores are coined community stores. Why? Because they are serving in areas where there are no grocery stores. No grocery stores. These stores usually have EBT service available so that their customers can use their Ohio Direction Card to purchase produce at an affordable cost. There needs to be an increase of funds for those receiving such services and incentives for community stores to be able to access healthy foods and produce offerings to sell at an affordable cost to communities that are food insecure. The other community service that I offer is Gardening 101, a series of basic gardening classes taught by local farmers and expert home gardeners at local community centers. With that being said, we can't cut people's food resources and the opportunities to learning how to grow for themselves. Yes, to healthy, affordable, fresh food and produce options. Yes, to community gardens, and yes to seed libraries. Black, brown, and indigenous farmers are using the best methods that they can with their local resources. Many of us are new to knowledge of USDA and local extension services. If you are in a position of funding, offering education, providing plants, soils, tools, and technical support, please be mindful that this is a form of power. If you are in any way connected with those seats of power, then please make sure to outreach your resources in a fair and inclusive manner. And when you need these farmers to assist with implementing programming to the community, pay them a fair wage. If you're not volunteering, they shouldn't be either. To all the journalists and social media content creators, please write our story with us to make sure that Black farmers and Black agriculturalists' stories are written with truth and unshakable integrity, not what you feel or what tragedy you feel deserves to be told to get the attention. There are too many wonderful things that are happening with Black and Indigenous growers that the penmanship, which is your power, needs to be utilized much better. There are solutions to bringing balance to a broken food system. We need to change the fossilized mechanical mindset. We all do. Offer more SNAP resources to our families, Ohio families, and I'm speaking of also preserve land for urban farming, community gardens, and wildlife sanctuaries. Educate our communities on food sovereignty, agroecology, and indigenous farming practices that will keep the creativity and the land and the nature aspects of importance on the forefront of all types of community activities. And in closing, to just reiterate what we want as a collective for farmer-led climate solutions, we want to value and support the expertise of farmers who long develop holistic, sustainable systems that address climate concerns and many environmental challenges. As it relates to racial justice, let us prioritize the expertise and the needs of indigenous and traditional communities in this Farm Bill by reducing barriers to the program participation and by extending research on unique climate change that impacts vulnerable and underserved populations. Yes, we are saying communities and not corporations. Let's ensure that land, products, and benefits of agriculture will remain under or return to control of those with knowledge and skill in managing and developing sustainable systems to benefit them and their community. Solving the problems of climate disaster will also solve the problems of food security, biodiversity, and help to regenerate the soil and the overall environment. We are all the living mycelium. I love you and I thank you.